Good afternoon, good evening, happy Saturday, FlossTube. Hello, crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. My name is Caroline, and today's video is a FlossTube cross-stitch knitting get-together. So I am here at work again today. It is 9:45, and I am working on cutting and serging the traditional fabric clubs today. So I thought I would treat myself to a little sit down before I get fully stuck in, and because I'm so inspired at the moment. I can't wait to dig into these projects, and this is what fuels my day, because I know that I'm going to find some time later this evening to get into these projects. So I'm going to tell you today a little bit. We're going to talk about Sampler September. We're going to talk about two newest starts that I've had, and then I'm going to talk about my plans for the rest of the year. So let's get to it. Sampler September. I shared this on FlossTube that I did yesterday with Carrie over on the other channel, which is Evertote Notes from the Workshop. And I didn't put any more stitches in this last night. So unfortunately, I have no more progress to share with you today than when I shared it yesterday. I did talk a little bit about, I had some problems with mistakes and counting, and I've probably stitched this section 3 times, and I made some counting errors over here, and yeah, so I wasn't all that pleased with myself with this. However, we will persevere. This is September's Return by Maximum Cross Stitch, my friend Ellen, and I am hosting the SAL for Sampler Stripetember. There's a hashtag you can use on Instagram, hashtag Sampler Stripetember 2024. And the reason why we use Stripetember is because there is a corresponding striped sock that matches the floss. Here's my floss. I love this chart. So I just really need to get past my annoyance at myself at how much extra stitching I had to do, because you know when you feel like you should have a lot more progress and you know you don't because of your own silly mistakes. So anyway, my socks are going much more smoothly. Much more smoothly. So I actually cast on a sock from each of the colorways for this year's collaboration with Heather of Timber Yarns. So I know I tend to repeat myself week after week, but we always have new friends come to visit, so please, if you've been here for a while, do forgive me for always repeating myself. There were 2 projects. One was a modern sampler designed by Ellen. The other one was a reproduction that she did. And Heather took both floss packs and translated them into self-striping yarn. So the one that matches September's Return, these beautiful fall colors. I described it last week as my first day of school socks, and then I shared the picture of my first day of school. So, and here's where I'm at. So I've put a few more stripes since last week. I love these colors so much. I probably shouldn't have put that green stripe there because I knew it wasn't going to be a full stripe, but I hate wasting yarn, so I'm not going to be mad about it. I love them. Love them. The other yarn, which is the Agnes colorway, you can see I've gotten into that beautiful light teal color. And here's my progress. Isn't that fun? Let's get the colors there to show up properly. There we go. So this one, I am using a pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady called Mahogany Run. and you can see it's going to rib down the sock, and there is a small yarn over. Oh, where can you see it? Let me find it. They're all over the place, of course, but having them show up on camera is a bit tricky, especially when I don't have very much done. So can you see there's little yarn overs that make little holes all the way down the design. You'll be able to see it better once I've got more, and I think maybe in the lighter stripes you'll see it a bit better. But I love it. I love them. And these have been so easy to just pick up, knit a few rounds, and call it good. So I've been really enjoying these very much. So that's my sampler September progress. I am a little disappointed in myself with my stitching. So I do hope tomorrow so today is Saturday, I hope tomorrow to at least finish the pepper field and get that done, and then, you know, move along the border. I'm trying to dig into the fields first because they are the most dense stitching, and once I get through those, the rest of the piece is very simple. It's the alphabet and the border and the birds, and then really it's done. So yeah, so I am enjoying it. It's a me problem. Okay, I had 2 new starts. One of them I shared. Did I share it? I think I did. Yeah, I did a series of videos on UK designers on the other channel, and one of those designers was Yasmin's Made with Love. I really enjoy Yaz's charts. They're very colorful and happy and just vibrant, you know, stitching that just feels happy. Can't think of a better way to describe it. So she had a winter sampler. It's a newer design. Looks like that. And it's just sweet. And it's smaller, and it's sampler September, so why not, right? I have not done very much since I shared it when I started it. However, I've put in a few more holly leaves. So there we go. This is a 28 count Roxy Flossco biscuit, and I'm using 2 strands of floss over 2. So not much to show, but it was an hour's very pleasant stitching at night while the family, I think they were watching football. Yeah, they were watching football. So this was on, I don't know, the day of the week this week that football was on. I don't even know. All of the days are starting to blur together. We're in a very busy work period time at the moment, so yeah, life is full, but life is good, so no complaints. All right, the other design that I started is a very special one, and this is a sampler from Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery, a reproduction sampler called Frouwke Sijmens Bos. Midnight Duck. And I know that I've butchered that, but translated it means my sewing cloth. 1792, and it's a sampler from the north of Groningen. This beauty right here. Right from the minute, Jacob frequently will send me photos of samplers that he's purchased, and when they come into his collection, because he is excited about them and I love to see them, and I feel really lucky that he and I have a friendship where, you know, stitcher friendships when you're excited to share things, and I feel lucky that he shares those with me. And this one, when he sent me the photo, I don't know why, but I was just immediately drawn to it. I love everything about it. I even like, look what he does. I love his charts. They're just so beautifully done. Now, I did ask his permission yesterday to share some of his writing about this sampler, because one of the things Jacob does really well that many of our sampler reproduction designers do is give some historical background behind this special piece that you're going to be spending a lot of time with. And I really enjoy that. And I found it really interesting, and I thought you might too. So let me share a little bit of that with you. So let's see. I like Jacob's information that he writes about his own process as well. So he wrote this at home in Rotterdam on the 9th of August, 2024. So just a month ago. A couple of months ago, I purchased several samplers from a collector in the Netherlands who was letting go of some pieces in her collection. One of them was the sampler of Frouwke Sijmens Bos. The original sampler was in extremely poor shape. See the photo on page 18 of this booklet. Now it is black and white, but I think you can still see. You can see the damage at the bottom there. But that's the original. So the original sampler, with a large portion of the lower half having completely disintegrated over time. Fortunately, the part with the most extensive damage was on the border, which was mostly a repeat pattern. Frouwke's sampler also suffered from being fairly sun-bleached. Colors for this pattern were based on the back of the sampler and were freshened up to reflect the original color palette. Due to its damaged nature, I decided to create an interpretation of Frouwke's sampler for full crosses only, with no specialty stitches involved, and restoring the original, more bright colors. Therefore, this sampler should not be seen as a strict reproduction, but a reinterpretation of a heavily damaged 18th century sampler. For those who prefer a more authentic version, please check out the chart details on page 19 of this booklet, which shows the areas that originally feature backstitch. The birds have some backstitch. The initials on the side of the sampler also have some separators stitched right between them. The bottom corner motifs also have backstitching. So Frouwke, interestingly enough, okay, where was I? Okay, so right, I was telling you about Frouwke and Frouwke's sampler. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the beginning of his research into Frouwke, because if you decide that you would like to stitch this as well, I'll save that as a surprise for you to read about, because he's included photos from the archives of his research of similar items to what and where Frouwke may have lived, or where she did live, not where she may have lived, but actually where she lived, and various details about her life and her family. And yeah, it just makes it that much more special. So just for Jacob's first paragraph here, he says, "A sampler to me is a puzzle. Some puzzles give up their secrets easily, resulting in the ability to write a neat biography with 100% certainty about the maker and her life. In other cases, the sampler does not give up its secrets, and only a vague guess as to the origins of the sampler can be made. This sampler falls into a third category, a sampler where I have certainty about its maker, family, and location, but with documents that contradict rather than confirm some aspects of her life." So I just, I love that. So he has included a photo from the baptism register from Frouwke's church. So I just love this stuff. So it's never an unhappy few moments that you spend with a cup of coffee digging into Jacob's words and his research, and he takes so much care with his work that it's thoroughly enjoyable. So I hope you, if you, like me, have kind of maybe fallen in love with Frouwke, that maybe you'll join me in stitching her. She is not small. She is not small. The stitch count on this is, oh goodness, gravy. He always has a separate technical specs page. So stitch count is 302 wide, 302 crosses wide, and 234 crosses high. So he does include a grid for stitch sizes. I am stitching mine on a 40 count, yeah, 40 count fabric, wide quarter. It will fit on a wide quarter, but of course you have to stitch it. Well, I have in the past stitched designs sideways so that I could fit them on narrower scroll rods. I know I'm doing that with, I know, long-term project. It's been on the scroll rods forever. The Blackbird Design Seasons. I am stitching, that's the only one at the moment I'm stitching sideways. But this one, I really wanted to stitch it right side up. So I have it on some super long crossbars, scroll rods. I'll show you in a minute. So 40 count, well, let's do the math. Let me show you how to do the math. I use an app on my phone. It's called X Stitch Calc. If you search Stitching the Night Away, I'm not sure, I've had this app forever on my phone. I think it was Country Stitchers that I originally found out about this app from. And yeah, and I know Yarn Tree has the fabric calculator as well. You just plug in the details and then it will give you the information. Always remembering that you want to add that border, that extra fabric border for your, you know, fabric allowances for framing and stuff like that. I prefer a 3-inch border, but I have been known to do a 2-inch or sometimes a little bit less border if I know how I'm finishing it. Like if I'm finishing it into a pillow or a bag design, then I will often be a little bit more frugal with those borders. Okay, so stitch count being 302 by 234. Fabric count is 40, stitching over 2, add a 3-inch border. So fabric should be 22 by 18. Wide quarter linen cuts are usually 18 by 26-ish, in between 26 and 27. And so 18, that will give you plenty of margins on a piece of 40 count. 36 count, you will have 2.5-inch borders on the top and bottom. So act accordingly. Larger than that, and just plug the numbers in. It's very straightforward information to figure out. But we do often have customers email us and ask for help knowing what size fabric to buy, and you know, always happy to help. So the floss that Jacob based his digital mock-up on is a Roxy Floss Co. palette, but he does include a DMC conversion in the chart as well. So he's got both DMC and Roxy Floss Co. The colors are, I'll just show you. Okay, the colors are Old Penny, Blue in the Face, Gwyneth, Lipstick, oh yes, Artichoke, Straw Hat, and Honey Mustard. Now, there is no way I'm taking this off my lap frame at the moment because I really want to get a few more of the flowers in the border done, because I just started to put in some of the lipstick color and it is so beautiful. I have to do at least one more flower before I take it off my lap frame. And I know if I take it off my lap frame, it's not going to go back on for a while. So this is ridiculously huge. I'm just going to preface this right here. It's ridiculously huge. These are 30-inch scroll rods on my lap frame. So when I stitch at work, if I'm using my lap frame, I just clear my desk and I plop it on my desk. So it's big. It's not small. It's not small. The standard size scroll rods that come with this lap frame are 20 inches. So you can imagine this is 10 inches wider than the standard setup. Now, I do have it upside down, so hang on, let me, there, you're getting, that's the bottom. I know. It's just, it's difficult to manipulate when it's not on my table, and I have, of course, all of my things in front of me. There we go. Okay, I've got 2 needle minders on here, because I wasn't, see, you're welcome. No, I should say thank you. Thank you for not making me. Thank you. I'm thanking you. Thank you for letting me show it to you in this ridiculous way. Look at that. I know I could have just taken my camera and shown you, but this, look at it. Isn't it so pretty? It's so pretty. So yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot. It's not small, but I don't care how long it takes me, because the pleasure of stitching this is high. It's just so beautiful. It's just as beautiful as I thought it was when I saw it, and I can't wait to stitch more. So I'm going to add a few more flowers before I take it off my scroll rods, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it as part of my sampler September. So Frouwke Sijmens Bos, thank you Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery for giving me such a beautiful sampler. I love it. Okay, now let me tell you about my plans for the rest of the year. I know, just not all my plans, but it's a general way forward. Speaking directly to my 50 for 50 for this year. I turned 50, so I wanted to commemorate it with my projects in some way and have my crafting have a bit of meaning to it this year. So I chose to do 50 projects, but that would include starts and finishes. So as of now, with the Yasmin's Made with Love and Frouwke, I now have 30 starts. I have started 30 things this year. I have finished 16 things, which means if you do the math, I'm sitting at a total of 46 items of my 50, which gives me 4 remaining. So what I want to do, and I have 3 of the 4 already planned. I am not including the holiday countdown. I'm not including the holiday countdown. That to me is, that's just set in stone. I'm doing it. I'm not including it as part of my 50. It's a bonus. So, oh, that reminds me, actually, holiday countdown. This is a collaboration we do with Modern Folk Embroidery and Roxy Floss Co. I've done it. This is our 3rd year. It's such a fun project. I do daily videos here on this channel throughout Flossmas, and we do our daily mystery stitching together. The boxes are sold out, but we had lots of people last year join in with the stitch along with the daily cards only. So if you want to use your own floss, your own fabric, and really it's a Jacob design, so you could pick 2 colors, you could pick 3 colors, you could pick, I'm going to be sharing the floss at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time each day, the new daily Roxy Floss Co color that we'll be using to stitch our stitching. So if you want to wait and watch the video at 7 and choose your own floss that looks similar, then you are welcome to join in. Those cards, the daily card sets, are now in the shop. They're ready. They're listed. We are selling them now. So one word of note, you're going to notice that the postage on them is a little bit expensive because they are full 8x11 cardstock. There's 25 of them. We can't ship them, like it's fairly dear to ship them. It's not like shipping a letter. They're coming in a gusseted mailer. They're, you know, that's why. Anyways, if you see it and you think, why is this postage so high? Well, that's the reason. They're expensive to ship. However, so much fun. So if you did the daily cards last year and you were hoping to join in again this year with using your own floss and fabric, it is available now. The daily card set is available in the shop. We do not have any extra daily treats. Those are gone. They are gone in the boxes. So we are only offering the option with the set of 25 cards. So what else am I going to do? So I have 4 left. What I'm going to do, because I know that I want to have the option of starting something new if I blow through those 4. So I've set myself the goal that if I start all those 4 and I really want another new start, then I have to finish something. Those are going to cancel each other out. After I've done the 50 for 50, if I want another new start, I have to finish something. I have to finish something and then I can start something new. They will cancel each other out. Win-win. So let me show you the 3 that are sure things. I'm going to start first of all with Hannah Attwater because I am going to host a year-long stitch along with Hannah Attwater. Oh my goodness. I created a Facebook group last night specifically for this group. Hannah Attwater 1832. So please, if you would like to do a stitch along with me, please feel free to join the brand new Facebook group. It's called Hannah Attwater 1832 SAL, designed by Mama Loves You GB. So this stitch along is going to start November 1st. November 1st, because I figured that would give enough time for people to hear about the stitch along, gather supplies, join the Facebook group if you so choose. We will also have a hashtag on Instagram. It'll probably just be something simple like Hannah Attwater SAL, something like that. It's going to be pretty easy so that I can remember what it is. But if you, I mean, I love this sampler, and Michelle has just, she's so fun. I love watching her videos. And so it was her suggestion that a stitch along would work really well, a year-long stitch along, because you can divide it into 24 parts. You can do 2 parts a month and you'll be done in a year. And it's not a lot of stitching as a monthly goal. And so I thought it would be something that if you wanted to stitch this, but like me, you have lots of other projects on the go, this is something that's manageable, and a year from now, you'll have something special. The other one that I'm joining is EJ and Shelia's. It's EJ's SAL from Sunshine Stitchers, Put a Bird on It. Go and watch their latest floss tube for information on that. I believe the stitch along starts on December 15th, but that is another year-long SAL. So there's 2. There's 2. Hannah Attwater, Put a Bird on It. So Facebook group, I will leave a link in the description box below if you'd like to join that Facebook group. It is a private group. I don't have any questions on it, but I'm just trying to avoid spam people from joining. That's all. So that's why it's a private group. And I will have monthly prompts up by the 1st of the month that will outline what the following, what we're going to be stitching together that month. Okay, so that's 2. You ready to see the 3rd thing? Okay, third project. Now, try not to be shocked. I'm gonna show you something that those of you who have been around for a while are probably wondering what has happened to this project. You ready? I know. Remember this old friend? This project has been moved around various places within my stash pile, from place to place, and I only have 3 charts left to finish this beautiful. Like, I love this, right? This is really nice. I need to finish it so that it's done. So there are 3 designs left. This is it's the Frosty Forest by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I bought all the called for materials. I stitched it with all of the called for materials. I have the final 3 charts in my possession. I've had them for years. It's time. So my third new start is going to be Snow Girl's Cottage. And Snow Girl's Cottage lives right there. It's going to be right there. And then I have the Snowy Reindeer, which live up there. And then the Frosty Forest centerpiece, which goes in, of course, in the middle, the center. So my third new start for 50 for 50 is Snow Girl's Cottage. I plan to start this next Friday, which is the 20th of September. So next Friday, 20th of September, I am going to post about it on the Friday Off the Grid Facebook group. I'm going to encourage those of you who have maybe some of these languishing Country Cottage Needleworks or Little House Needleworks, the ABC houses, any of those. If you've got these in your stash pile, your whip pile, why don't you join me next Friday, Friday the 20th, and then I'll have a video up next Saturday, and I'll show my new start. And maybe we can encourage each other to get these gorgeous projects finished. So I know now you're asking, but Caroline, what about Santa's Village? Didn't you start Santa's Village as well? Why yes I did. So I pulled that one out too, just to show you. See? I know. I haven't put a single stitch in it and I don't even know how long. I toyed with the idea of calling it done and just being done. The problem is that I love these little houses so much. I have the fabric to stitch the whole thing. I really enjoy this stitching. I don't mind that it's still in my stash pile. So, but not yet. Not yet, but I thought maybe if you had it in your stash pile and you wanted to work on it, maybe next Friday you'd join me. And let's encourage each other to get these done. So my goal is to finish this one here. And then we'll see where it takes us from there. Okay, so that's 3. The last one. Now, I have 4 here. I have 4, and trust me, I could easily find 100 more. I narrowed it down to 4 to choose from. Two Artsy Housewife new designs. The Lake House, October Blooms, Rosewood Manor. We have 3 new, not new, but new to Evertote, 3 Rosewood Manor pieces coming into the shop. I don't remember when. It's on the it's on our internal schedule of when they're going to be put in. Hannah still has to do the floss conversions for them. We're adding in, we've been asked by customers for a long time to do the other 2 seasonal Quakers, Autumn Quaker and Summer Quaker. so they're coming. But I brought in another Rosewood Manor at the same time because it was a piece that caught my eye, and just like these other designs where it's like, I just love it so much. Autumn Hill. It's beautiful. Look at the stitching in that hill. I mean, that's next level, right? Look at that. It's beautiful. I find it incredibly striking. I love it. So there is also Summer Hill, but this is the one I brought in because this is just the one that caught my eye. Love it. And last but not least, on my short list of ones that I just, because I have a whole bin of things that are kitted up and ready to start. This was a really tough decision, but I can't start something new every day as much as I want to. So I'm trying to hold myself accountable to the original plan of 50 for 50. 34, that would be 34 new starts this year. So if I want to do another one, I got to finish something. This next one is the biggest one. It's the Mother Lode. FDLM 1873, a French alphabet sampler. Teresa Vanette, Shakespeare's Peddler. I love this sampler so much. But I did choose one. It's almost October. It would be foolish not to start October blooms on October 1st. So that's what I'm gonna do. It was a tough choice because really the color palette in the Lake House is so me. Hannah has done all the floss conversions, and as soon as I saw it, I immediately said, oh, I have to stitch that. I have to stitch it. But we are heading into fall and winter. It's almost October, and this is equally as gorgeous. Just a totally different mood. I love it. October 1st. If you are stitching this, I hope you'll join me. That's my new start date, is October 1st. So September 20th, next Friday, is going to be the houses. October 1st, October blooms. November 1st, Hannah Attwater. Oh, good gravy. Oh, December 15th, put a bird on it. December 1st, holiday countdown. Boom, there's my year. I already have Contenders in mind for a January 1st start too. We'll save that for another day. All right, I need to get back to work. So thank you for joining me today. Sampler September. I think I've probably dived into a lot more samplers this year than I ever have in the past. They're speaking to me more for some reason. I don't know, I never really used to consider myself much of a sampler stitcher, but I'm starting to appreciate them more. I'm starting to enjoy the historical aspect of them more. You know, getting to know the designers behind these reproductions has been really a pleasurable part of my job. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great month so far, and you know what? We're only halfway through Sampler September. So September's return, this is tomorrow. That's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. All right, on that note, I hope you have a great weekend. Happy Saturday, happy Sunday tomorrow if you're watching this tomorrow. I hope that you're well, I hope that you're safe, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you in a week for another Sampler September update and video. Take care, everybody. Happy stitching. Me again. I know, I'm just holding the camera, so forgive the wobbles. I totally meant to say today, thank you so much for all the comments last week about those of you who share animals who prefer other people in your family over you. It meant a lot to me. It really meant a lot to me, those of you who wrote in with your own personal stories about beloved pets that you care for and even knit sweaters for, and they still prefer the other people in your house. And sometimes, like me, you're even the third choice. Your comments, I love them. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thanks for being here, sharing these things with me. Not just crafty things, but life in general. I'm glad we're friends. So I'll see you soon.